follow to you?
I have had through my life an experience like that my body is asleep.
Yes.
And my mind is awake. It's
Yes.
called, I think, sleep-paralysis.
Yes.
And I never got a clue what it was about.
Okay.
And I had a period that I used it as a starting point for out-of-body experiences.
Perfect.
And but later on I did not the other things, and I didn't do that anymore. But recently I heard from Bashar that this had to do with alien contact.
It can have to do with alien contact.
Okay, and yes, and so I want to know more about it.
Okay.
And I have done many years ago. I have done a course for reincarnation and regression therapist.
Okay.
So I can do self sessions, and I did a few sessions on this topic.
Yes.
And the first time I did it, I found myself as a 3-year-old on the attic of the house where we lived,
Yes.
playing with wooden blocks, and suddenly there were all these strange beings
Around
on the
you.
attic.
Yes.
And to my perception as a 3-year-old, I thought they looked like insects. They had these big heads with big eyes and a lot of long sticky things, and I thought they looked like wasps or something.
Like what?
Wasps, I don't know the English
Wasps,
word.
okay.
Yeah. And the one was in front of me, put his finger on my forehead, and somehow I just got in a state that I did cooperated completely.
That you what?
Cooperated, that I couldn't only do what they want me to do.
Well, not entirely so, but we'll get into that later.
Okay,
Continue.
please, yes. And I had a very strong fear. I was terrified, of course, but I was also in a state of just going along with it.
Yes.
And what was strange about how they come into the room, they came not through the roof or something, but they were, so to say, they were already in the location. They connected to locations.
It appeared to you.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, in my perception, they put me I was on a stretcher.
Yes.
And strangely, I wasn't lying on it, but sitting on it. What was strange to me somehow. And we went up to a ship, and they did the most strange things to me. Which, yes, yes, I was really sort of in a shock to discover this.
Okay.
Well, few details. They accelerated the energy of my chakras.
Yes.
And took some of that energy to use in their program. I don't know exactly what they did, but
Yes.
I think it had to do with hybrid children.
Check.
And although I had all these fears, there was another other level of me that loved them so much, and had so much. Yes, I feel so connected to them, and also now when I look back on it, I'm overwhelmed with love for these beings, and they were so beautiful.
And we sense it from you as you share.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And
right now.
I also have this idea that because I was in contact with them, I got interested in technical things, which I do a lot of my life.
Yes.
And so I did a few other of those sessions where I went back, and when I was playing outside, and suddenly they were there again. But there was also a sense in me of, oh, not again. Like I was feeling interrupted in my development as a child.
Yes.
Because I was connecting with normal things, with life, with earth, and it took me away in other dimensions where I lose the connection with my normal life time after time.
Yes.
So I had a strong sense of not again.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to know from you is this still going on? And I'm still hypnotized, or are there still aliens present when I'm asleep, or how is this going?
Not to freak you out, but we're present now.
Yes, of course, but
just playing around.
Yes.
So, okay, let's rewind a little bit, Jess.
Yes.
So, the reason that you manifested for yourself the root of enthusiasm into the idea of doing these kind of sessions and then eventually doing them on yourselves or on yourself is because you are now ready to receive this information. And the reason that it wasn't available to you before is because you were aware, in fact, as a child already, that it, like you just described, it interrupted your exploration as a human being.
Yes.
So you understand on a higher energy frequency level, the higher mind level, if you wish to pinpoint it in that way, you decided to blank your own memory of these
Okay.
interactions up until now, because the love, the unconditional love that binds you and these beings, never really disappeared.
No.
And it is that passion that eventually led you back to this route of seeking information. And it's not the one and only way through which you, any one of you, can access such memories, you see, or parallel versions of yourselves, because that's what a memory really is. You're just accessing another version of yourself that had that experience in another here and now moment. So that segment of time, because all is here and now,
Yes.
becomes available to you consciously in the humanly, physically focused, oriented persona self that you understand yourself to be right now, when you use the permission slip or tool of the session type that you have, well, used on yourself. So now you're ready. You see, if you were not ready, had you not been ready to receive these memories back into your physical awareness, your conscious awareness as a persona self, they would have remained inaccessible. And this is why certain people are unhypnotizable, you understand?
Yes.
Because you may kind of suspect that you had particular experiences as a child, but go to a hypnotherapist and discover that that particular route, though it works for many, and in your collective subconscious belief system, it is a very strongly ingrained belief that it opens up doors to the unseen. But even though that is the main believed consensus, they may stand out to that and have locked the doors for themselves still, so that tool may not work for them, you see. It depends on how insistent a person is wanting to know this. So for you, correct us if we're quote-unquote wrong, but there was no fear or worry or insistence around the experiment of doing the session on yourself, now was there?
No.
So, you see, your heart was open. And so that shows you were ready to receive this information. Nothing was, quote-unquote, depending on it, you see.
Yes.
And for those that are unhypnotizable, something is depending on it. You can ask them, what do you believe is depending on this information for you? And the answer will reveal to you. This may be of assistance to you when you work with clients later. That's why we're bringing it in. So their answer may reveal to you why it is that they are energetically keeping a door shut for this particular information to come through, you see. So for you, it came because you were ready. The idea of the attic is not a coincidence, why you find yourself there as a 3-year-old. The attic also, the house in the dream realm, in a sense, in the astral, in the blueprint level, where you play out many of these encounters, dream time, interaction with ETs or otherwise. The attic also symbolically refers to your mind, your head. So you were putting blocks on top of each other.
Yes, and I had this memory that I was making a portal, a sort of gate with those blocks.
Which is
Yes.
the third eye.
Okay, yes.
And that is what was pointed out to you by one of your other selves. So you were literally building your own gateway, your own vortex, your own pineal gland in the idea of the attic, your head. You understand?
Yes.
And this was reflected back to you by one of your parallel selves, because what you were surrounded with in this particular occasions, they were not the only beings there, but these were the ones that appeared to you most clearly, most closely. They were the mantids.
Okay, yes.
You can look it up if you want to.
Yes.
They look insectoid, so we understand the connection to the idea of wasps. They do have really big heads, very big eyes, much, much larger than we do. Very segmented or fragmented, like wasps actually have.
Yes.
And one of them pointed the third eye out to you as to have you understand that you're opening a vortex, a portal, for more information, multidimensional information, and your cross-connection to them to enter your conscious awareness. So that's what happened.
Yes.
You see. Now, the trip to the ship, as you remember it, and the things that were, you could say, done on you, were very targeted to the idea, indeed, of your contribution to the hybridization project. So you are a father to multiple hybrid children, in case you didn't know yet.
I didn't know, but nice to hear.
Happy Father's Day.
Yes.
And the energy frequency of your chakras needed to be in full alignment for your donation, in a sense, to be made in the correct way. You understand this?
Yes.
We're perhaps a little slow on the translation of this because there are no hard cut words for this in your language, the way these things go. But with that aligned energy frequency of your state, you could make a contribution, which was in this particular visit more of an energetic one than a genetic one. You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a sense it was also a genetic contribution, but maybe...
It's connected, like we said. Your whole body needed to be in the proper resonant energy frequency. But in this particular one session, the donation itself was more energetic.
Yes.
So there have been many more other ones.
Yes.
As you recall, there have been other cross-connectings of your paths as a child, also as a teenager, by the way.
Yes.
Sometimes are still happening, but of a very different order by now.
Okay.
Now, throughout the years, as you linearly, quote-unquote, look back at your life, you've become a father many times, and you've played with these parallel selves in all kinds of ways. What they're pointing out to us now. Do you have a particular relationship to music, and or have you been playing with the idea of solfeggio frequencies?
Again?
Have you been playing with the idea of solfeggio frequencies?
Solfeggio frequencies. I don't know what they are.
They are... Okay, back off. Do you see the idea of... In your mind, can you see the idea of the golden means? Do you understand how nature evolves always to a particular scheme? A schedule that is in perfect balance?
Okay.
Look at a tree, look at your body.
Yes.
The segments have a particular rhythm to them.
Okay, yes.
Yes?
The distance, it's golden, the golden ratio.
Exactly, the golden means, the golden ratio.
Yeah.
The idea of that particular rhythm or pattern also exists in music.
Yes.
There it's called solfeggio.
Okay.
So, or Fibonacci, from the shape-oriented world, the physical world, Fibonacci,
Yes.
to solfeggio in the music world.
I once built a scheme with aluminum tubes.
Okay. And what did you do with that?
I give it away to someone who has it in a practice room now.
Okay.
And I just saw it yesterday.
What's the function of it? What does it do?
It harmonizes the energy of people.
Okay, so you work with energy frequencies.
Yes.
And you have used the idea of the golden means in that design.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what they're showing us. They've been working with you creatively, technically, through that path of inspiration. And they're still very excited to do that with you, more so if you wish.
Nice.
If you're curious about it.
Yes.
So because you said there is this scientific interest that you have naturally.
Yes.
And there's a very strong overlap with them. But they're more about playing with the elements that are already present in your world, and then warping them in such a way that you would perhaps call it technical, but it becomes an instrument for, like you just said, harmonization. And it helps you amp up your energy frequencies. So these kind of permission slips, they're very, very, very much at home in that. And they kind of already showed you that when they helped you harmonize your own system, all the chakra points.
Yes.
And you got to feel the difference.
Yes.
You see. So they showed you all of that in that one encounter already. So they kind of communicated with you quite directly. This is what we do. This is who we are. And this is how we can play together.
Yes.
And that's why that was the first memory that came forth, so that you could immediately use elements of that in your daily life to play more with. Now, did you follow all of this so far?
I hope so.
Okay. Remember your first question. We do.
Yeah.
The idea of the sleep paralysis?
Yes.
What's going on there? So in some occasions it indicates ET contact, not necessarily always. In all occasions it indicates contact with higher energetic versions of yourself, in one way, shape or form. Whether it is a future version of you as a human, the version that you are right now in a sense, but then in the astral, or how you understand that in your own mind, or whether it is a parallel incarnation, an ancestor helping you, in whatever way, shape or form, even just your own higher self calling to you, shouting inspirational thoughts to you. are things that occur with such a high speed that you could say that it is almost as if your energy body has become too big for your physical body to hold. You understand?
Yes.
Even though this is a metaphor and the physical body is actually being held by the energy body. So it is entirely the other way around, as you are often taught in your New Age scenes. You understand?
Yes, yes.
But it may feel as if you're bursting out of the seams, the way you understand yourself to be, because you are bigger than you understand yourself to be. And this is going at such a rate that would you allow your physical body to respond to that, you would hit around you or kick, you see. And to prevent that from happening and to prevent yourself from, for instance, accidentally hitting into a wall or hitting against the side of your bed in such a way that you might hurt yourself, you freeze. You're awake, but you keep your body frozen. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So it is a self-protection mechanism. You know very well what you're doing. You're just not consciously aware of it as you are experiencing it in most occasions when this first happens to you, although it happens through you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But nothing is being done to you. Now, in cases of ET contact, we, in any single occasion, like any entity, connect with you through your higher self. Nothing out there can connect to you without moving through that filter of permission first. Do you understand?
Yes.
So nothing is ever invading you because it has already been decided on your higher self's level that this is relevant for you in one way, shape, or form. Whatever is coming through is relevant for you.
Yes.
Now, when ETs or other dimensional beings connect with you through your own higher self, you understand your higher self is screening and monitoring the entire encounter from head to tail. If within that encounter it seems that your energy frequency may rise so quickly that you might hurt yourself in the discovery of that when you consciously become aware of this, it will freeze your physical body, but it is you doing it for you.
Yes.
You're holding yourself. Friendly, tight, for a little while. It may feel helpless, but you're actually keeping yourself safe so that whatever download wants to come through can sink in enough for you to then wake up, snap out of it again, and rediscover the physical body.
Yes.
Which is in a sense a new one.
Okay.
You renew yourself every single here and now, but in these kind of occasions you have often made quite a little bit of a quantum leap. And your body may actually feel a little different to you after a situation like that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
It may even take a little longer to get quote unquote back into it.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean you're pushing yourself in a much too tight little bag. It more means that you're getting used to the energy frequency of the now new cellular pattern that you have co-created with your higher self and possible assistance during the encounter. Does this help?
Yes, it helps a lot.
Is that an answer to every single step of the questions that you should have asked?
Yes, well, I have to look at it back because it's a lot of information, but it's very beautiful and I'm very happy with the information. And also that you told me that I'm not hypnotized, I do it myself, so
yes.
I can help myself, and so that makes it much more a positive thing.
And
It's,
eventually
yeah.
you used it already in a positive way, you said earlier, by using it as a trampoline, a starting point
yes.
for out-of-body experiences,
Yes.
which is a perfect place to work from, to
Okay,
play from.
yes.
By doing things like that, by making it your own, by getting accustomed to this state and playing around with it in that way, it will become less and less and less rigid.
Okay.
Because you're saying, actually, I am now mentally very at ease with whatever is going on. And so the higher self will take your cue from the persona self and understands, oh, okay, then I don't have to entirely take the body out of the equation anymore. You can now be physically fully aware and move around, might you want to in that sense, with your persona self, and have the multidimensional experiences simultaneously, which is where we're at. When we fall asleep, we just walk into the other world. In a sense, you could say that we're always sleeping, we're always in that dream state. But when we lay down, we can travel very consciously and we don't have to quote unquote fully lose the body that we understand ourselves to be focused in. Does this make any sense?
Yes.
Okay. Can you play with that?
Yes, I can play with that. I will do that more and more.
Oh, well,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Again, I
And
mean,
have
because I
fun.
did it a long time ago, I did that a lot, and I will do it again.
If you want to.
Yes.
Okay.
I have one question about my children. They are afraid to be alone in a room or sleep alone in a room. Does this have to do anything with the alien contact that is present in our home?
It is in your family lineage. That is true. You can empower them by allowing them to know in their own language, so in a very friendly, metaphoric way perhaps, that fits their age,
Yes.
that whatever they encounter contains a part of them.
Okay.
Just start there, see where it goes. And understand, have the trust if you want to as an unconditionally loving parent, that they too are the creators of their own reality. So if they pull in the idea of separation very strongly right now, which is the cause for fear, they are able to transform it into the light, because you do not pull in anything that cannot be transformed by you. They're capable. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So you can be there for them, you can be a stable anchor, you can give them this information, but also be a beacon of trust. And that is the quote-unquote best energetic factor that you can weave into the whole as a parent. And allow it to unfold, you see.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.